Hello students, welcome to Legacy IAS Academy. Today we are going to discuss about a phenomena that has made a news headline, that is volcanic vortex rings. So what is volcanic vortex ring, how is it formed and why this particular phenomena is news is what we are going to discuss in this particular video. Recently Mount Etna eruption is where this particular kind of phenomena has been observed. So recently Mount Etna, which is one of the most important and also the largest volcano in the Europe, and also among the world's most active and iconic volcanoes, has been sending up almost what is considered as the perfect ring of smoke into the air. The rings are a rare phenomena that scientists refer as a volcanic vortex ring, which are produced roughly in the same way as any smoke ring that is produced by some cigarette smokers as they are able to blow out. Similarly, how does this volcanic rings form? When does any volcano spout these kind of rings, and what is it about Mount Etna and this phenomena? Let us try to go and delve deeper into this particular topic. So first of all, to understand about Mount Etna is an active volcano. Now active volcano means that either the eruption is going on continuously through the volcano, or in a very small period of time it has frequently erupted and there is a presence of an active magma chamber below it. So it is an active volcano situated on the eastern coast of Sicily, which is the largest island in the Mediterranean Sea and is part of Italy. Etna's peak is the highest in Italy if you talk about to the south of Alps, which is a mountain range, a young-fold mountain range in the Europe, and is Europe's largest and one of the most active volcanoes. The Etna summit has 5 craters. Craters are basically found at the top of a volcano whenever we have the collapse of the volcanic vent, or either due to the intense pressure of magma and lava, the upper conical part of volcano is simply blown away, that results into formation of crater. So such 5 craters are what we see on the top of Mount Etna, and these craters are responsible for most of the volcano's eruption that we have seen in the recent past. Not only from the summit of the volcano, Mount Etna also is known for causing flank kind of eruption that occur out of 300 odd vents of varying sizes, which is found not on the top but along the slope of the volcanic mountain. So first of all, if you look at the location of Mount Etna, this is your Italian peninsula. To the south of Italy you have the island, that is Sicily, and as you can see on the eastern coast of Italy you have the location of Mount Etna here. So basically in the Mediterranean, we can see between the Ionian Sea and Tyrrhenian Sea is the exact location of Mount Etna. Now this entire Mediterranean belt, as you can see from this particular image here, is full of volcanoes, and especially if we talk about the northern part of the Mediterranean Sea, where you have most of the volcanic regions are situated, as shown in the red region, that is shaded region here. So first of all, let us try to understand that why are we having a volcanic activity in the Mediterranean Sea region. So basically if you look at the geography of this area, to the south of Mediterranean Sea we have African continental plate, and to the north we have the Eurasian continental plate, and in between we have a sea plate, that is the Mediterranean Sea plate. So as African plate is continuously pushing against the Eurasian plate, what basically happens is that the pressure is applied over the Mediterranean Sea plate, which has been fragmented into multiple sections. Now each of this fragmented part, due to the continuous push by African plate, are basically subducting below the Eurasian plate, and as this subduction happens, the oceanic crust of Mediterranean Sea basically melts, and this melting produces magma, which under pressure of high pressure gases simply erupts out toward the European continental landmass, and that is why we are having a volcanic belt in the entire Mediterranean Sea. So if we talk about some more points about Mount Etna, first of all, as we have discussed, that Mount Etna is creating 2 kind of eruption. One is the summit eruption that happens from the crater region that is found at the top of the volcano, and as we can see that there are many conduits, small pipe like structures are there, through which magma also releases out or comes out along the slope of this mountain. So whenever eruption happens along the slope of mountain, this is referred as flank eruption, and that is what we can see from here. Here we are having the flank eruption as such. Now, Etna is in almost constant activity. That is why we have discussed in the beginning, it is referred as one of the most active volcanoes in the world and has seen since year 1600 at least 60 flank eruptions and many more summit eruptions. Now, summit eruption has happened recently, we talked about in year 2006, 7, 8, 2012, 2018 and 2021. On the other hand, flank eruption has happened in 2001, 2002, 3, 4, 5 and 8, 9. Now, Etna is also classified as a World Heritage Site by the UNESCO since year 2013. And as per the statement released by UNESCO, the volcano's eruptive history can be traced back to almost 500,000 years back. Also, at least 2,700 years of this activity has been documented by the human historians. Now, we were discussing about volcanic vortex ring that is being basically emitted by the Etna volcano. So, what is volcanic vortex ring? So, first of all, we can see from the diagram here, this is how a volcanic vortex ring is emitted out from the volcano and it takes almost circular kind of shape as it goes further higher up in the atmosphere. So, vortex rings are basically generated by, it is believed by geologists, when the gases, as you know that when the volcanic eruption happens, three main kind of elements comes out. You have the gaseous elements such as water vapor, you have carbon dioxide, nitrate compounds, you have sulfur based compounds. Then you have the magma or lava, that is the molten rock, and then you have the solid particles, that is pyroclastic fragments that comes out, the rock particles that comes out. So, generally when the gas, and in that gas also predominantly water vapor, when it is released rapidly through a vent in the crater, that is when this kind of vortex rings are formed. The vent that has opened up in Etna's crater is almost perfectly circular, and that is why the rings that have been seen above the mountain also takes almost circular kind of shape. The phenomena was first observed at Etna and other volcano also part of Italy, that is Mount Vesuvius in Italy in 1724 and has been documented in an engraved plate from 1755. Now, Etna we have discussed is an active volcano, and since we are talking about Mount Vesuvius, you should know that Mount Vesuvius is an example of dormant volcano. Dormant volcano are such volcano where below them we have an active magma chamber, as we can see from here. This is an active magma chamber which is the source of the magmatic eruption. So, dormant volcano also has an active magma chamber. However, in recent time there has been no eruption on those volcanoes, either due to the pressure of magma or magmatic gases are very, very low, and that is why they are not able to push themselves up to the vents of the volcano. So, last time volcanic eruption happened in Mount Vesuvius, it was year 1929. So, almost 90, we can say 95 years has passed without any kind of eruption in Mount Vesuvius. Now, the research that has been conducted on the volcanic vortex tells us that in more recent times these kind of rings have been observed in many volcanoes across the world, such as Redoubt volcano in Alaska, that is in the USA, Tunguarahua volcano in Ecuador, Pacaya in Guatemala, Hayef-Halahokul and Hekla in the Iceland region. Simona Skolo, who is a volcanologist at the INGV Etna, he said that volcanic smoke rings were produced in the same way as dolphins blow bubble rings in the water. And how does dolphin blow a bubble ring? Because that is how exactly the shape of volcanic vortex looks like. So, basically they compress the water in their mouth, and similar kind of compression of water vapor happens within the volcanic chamber also. And using their tongue, they push it out of their mouths and create such a pressure that it forms a ring, and that is exactly the mechanism how volcanic vortex rings is also produced by the water vapor in the volcano. Now, does the development of such kind of ring vortex like structure tells us anything about the probability of eruption of Etna? The volcanologist says that just development of such kind of vortex rings does not mean that Etna is going to erupt in a particular spectacular way. In fact, the activity from the new vent is slowing down, and it can stop because the properties of the conduit that allowed for the formation of these volcanic vortex rings can change, especially with obstruction. And that is all what we have to discuss in today's video. We have talked about the volcanic vortex ring, how it forms, and general brief introduction about Mount Etna. Thank you very much.